Hi Sheddies, it's me, Eddie Stevens. I am in my bed inside my shed that I live in, for all you know. This is a late video. It's part of my series of explaining to you, because you're too stupid to understand, who should be playing in which positions for England. I did props originally, the proptions video, which was much higher quality than this one will be. I did hookers. Do you remember when I did a bunch of hookers? And I filmed it for you to enjoy? We all loved that. It cost me a bit of money. Not that much. I can't afford the best. Did lockdowns. We got that locked down. Did back row. Did scrum half, didn't we? Little Harry Randall running with his candle and all that bullshit. And now it's time for fly halves. Now, those of you who listen to my podcast will probably have heard me talk about the fact that I recorded a fly half video already, and I spent a couple of hours editing it, but it was shit. And I decided it was too long, and it was too clumpy and clunky and funky and chunky. So I got rid of it. And now I'm doing this one, which is really bland and boring, but maybe I'll insert something really fun now. Oh shit. So fly half. England. What a crazy conversation this could be. It could have been extremely complicated and difficult, except Owen Farrell uncomplicated everything, didn't he? By relieving himself of England responsibility. So up until that moment, up until Owen Farrell decided to step down from international rugby, we had the predicament of, should Owen Farrell be 10 for England, or should it be, look weird, or should it be Marcus Smith, or should it be George Ford? If it's George Ford, should Owen Farrell be 12? Should Marcus Smith be 15? Should Marcus Smith be 10? Owen Farrell be 12? George Ford needs to fuck off. We couldn't agree. Now it's a little bit easier because Owen Farrell is not there. So it basically comes down to Ford or Smith at 10. If you really want to get crazy, you might want Smith at fullback still. But I think basically it comes down to Smith and Ford as your starting England fly half. For my money, Marcus Smith is the man and needs to have the shirt. George Ford has been an England great. Absolutely could come into the England squad and do a great job. But I think Marcus Smith offers more. He offers more for the future, and he offers more for now. He can do things that George Ford can't do. And increasingly, he's looked more and more capable of controlling a game at the top level. He kicks more, he kicks better, but he still has that, hate the term, but he has that X factor. He has that speed, that pace, and that sort of maverick decision-making and ability to do things with his feet that Ford doesn't quite have. But other than those two, is there anyone else, even in the periphery? I'm salivating and I don't know why, because it's such a juicy topic. Well, Finn Smith at Saints is probably next in line. He's young, but he is good enough now. You could conceivably bring him in and start him now if you wanted to, and I don't think he'd let England down. But is he really the third best fly half in England? And is he the best fly half at Saints? Yes, probably, unless George Furbank plays at 10, because George Furbank has been, arguably, alongside Courtney Lawes, has been Saints' most valuable player this season, in a season where Saints have looked unbelievable, the best they've looked in years. George Furbank is right at the front of that, and he plays fullback, and he's great at fullback, but when he plays 10, when he has played 10, he's looked great there too. And for this reason, I suspect that Steve Borthwick is going to name Furbank in his England squad. He'll probably have him, we might not ever see him play, or we'll see him on the bench, because it's very handy having a bench with George Furbank, who could come in and play fly half or 10, and probably wing, right? That's a good option. So, other than those 4 players, are there any other options in England for 10? I mean, you could go absolutely batshit crazy, and we could talk about Jamie Shilcock, but that's realistically never going to happen, even though I think Jamie Shilcock may be an even better player in terms of versatility than George Furbank. He can play fullback, he can play wing, he can play fly half, he can probably play centre, he can probably play fucking prop. No, he can't. That's stupid. But my point is, he's one of the most underrated players in England, mainly because he was at Worcester for a long time. But he's always kind of played second fiddle. He's always been a backup fly half, backup fullback, sometimes used on the wing. But I think he's better than that. And if Borthwick is as clever as I think he is, it's always a possibility, but it's not really going to happen, is it? I think we're going to see Furbank and Smith in the squad. I think we're going to see Furbank in the squad. We might see Finn Smith somewhere around the squad in a training squad, but probably it's a bit early for him. And I think what I would do, first England match, is start Marcus Smith at 10, and I would have George Ford on the bench. I hope I didn't accidentally say Furbank earlier instead of Ford. You just don't know, do you? With me. Anyway, that's my fly half fucking thing, right? Smith to start, Ford on the bench, Furbank possibly on the bench with him. Job done.